Hello, I am Lucille Sleger, and the title of my poster is Rethinking Social Emotional Interventions in MTSS Tiers 1 and 2. One of Secretary Cordova's 4 priority areas for the coming months and years is supporting students through pandemic response and recovery. That priority includes increasing access to social, emotional, and mental health supports for all students. With this in mind, states, school districts, and schools can review the standard supports, interventions, and evidence-based practices that are in place to meet the social emotional needs of students. The reason for creating this poster is to encourage a review and analysis of social emotional supports and interventions and evidence-based practices that are available for students, and determine what students need now for pandemic recovery. The presentation focuses on tiers 1 and 2 of an MTSS framework, and also on the need to identify stakeholders, including parents, who should be part of this process. Using a 3-tiered framework or model for a multi-tiered system of supports, stakeholders can look at 2 parallel strands, an academic strand and a social emotional strand, to support academic achievement. Tier 1 is the core program that provides universal supports for all students, including students with disabilities. Tier 2 provides supports and interventions that focus on specific needs of some students to help a student develop skills needed to benefit from the core programs at school. Tier 3 is used to provide intensive, individualized supports for a few students. I will, for the most part, address tiers 1 and 2. To review, analyze, and make decisions about the current social emotional needs of students, states, school districts, and schools should adopt an implementation framework or model. The state, school district, or school should identify experts and appropriate stakeholders, including parents, who can review and analyze data and information to assess what is needed now, determine how to change an existing MTSS framework, identify what is needed to implement the plan, and have the authority to move forward with implementation. Teams of stakeholders work at every level in an MTSS framework. After selecting supports and interventions for Tier 1, teams should take into consideration the impact on the workload in the classroom. Tier 1 should remain the universal core program for all students. Services may have to be replaced or revised to meet current needs. Students requiring work on specific needs should have access to services addressing those deficits. Tier 2 is used to provide targeted services to students working on specific needs. Tier 2 interventions and evidence-based practices should supplement Tier 1 to focus on specific deficits. It is important to remember that you should not change a system without developing a plan to support and sustain it. It is important for teams to develop a personnel development plan to sustain the core program at Tier 1, as well as the supports, interventions, and evidence-based practices in Tiers 2 and 3. Teachers and providers should have training about how to implement evidence-based practices with fidelity and be supported, for example, with coaching, when they are implementing what they learned from that training. State, district, and school personnel need to understand what is available for students and how to access services in a timely manner and when a student needs them. Other factors that support sustainability include commitment and administrative support at all levels, effective communication and collaboration within and among each of the levels, partnering with stakeholders, and developing data analysis skills for team members. Resources are listed on slide 16 of the handout and include references to OSEP-funded technical assistance centers, NCII's levels of intervention and evidence, NCSI's leading by convening, and the Center on PBIS document on the PBIS tiered fidelity inventory. Thank you for your interest in this topic, and please let me know if you have any questions.